You already know. You already know. It's that toy convention time. Exclusives. Yeah. I'm gonna make them mine. Yeah. Toy Unity Expo, #1 toy convention. Let's go. Hey. Toy Unity Expo, mint on card or loose for the low. Hey. Toy Unity Expo, old school heads, new kids. Let's go. Let's go. Toy Unity Expo, we just here to collect, let it echo. Savage Crucible, yeah, where they at? Marvel Legends, got them in the back, got Valaverse action force, yes. And G.I. Joe classified, don't stress, Storm Arena, check, imports, check. Yeah, we got it all at Toy Unity, bet we trade stories like we trade these figs. We at the best toy convention, doing it big. Drama we ain't about, leave it at your house. We got Do a Taste Studios here, no doubt. Collectors just wanna collect, no drama, no stress. Toy Unity Expo, #1 toy convention, let's go. Hey. Toy Unity Expo, mint on card or loose for the low. Hey. Toy Unity Expo, old school heads, new kids, let's go. Let's go. Toy Unity Expo, we just here to collect, let it echo.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome, everyone, to the 3POA podcast, episode 145. I'm your host, LaserPants, also known as Ryan. We are still waiting on Bobby Vala to show up, guys. That's right. Bobby is late. How about that, huh? Frickin' typical. But anyway, we have a very special guest here with us tonight to talk about the toy industry, to talk about what's going on with them over at their company. Please welcome to the show, the one, the only, Rob Post from Savage Crucible. Welcome, Rob. How you doing?
Doing well. Why are we always waiting for women? That's what I want to know.
Oh, he's going to... Well, you know what? He'll never hear that because he'll never go back and watch this. So.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So how you been, man? I haven't seen you since, I don't know, what, May?
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks.
A few weeks ago, back at Motuniverse.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting show. You went and watched the movie now, haven't you?
I did.
Yeah, what'd you think? I don't know if you've already covered this. I don't watch every episode, but
I watched the movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was like a threading a needle, trying to get people that grew up with the cartoon to love it, and but also be able to bring your kids in there and them have a good time. So
I think they hit the right balance. It seemed to me they went with the MCU formula, right? Like it just seemed to work. It was like the James Gunn almost MCU formula. Goofy, fun, but still had a nice like character arc, decent story. You know, it wasn't. I don't know. It was competently made. I'll say that, but it was funny. Like I love the humor. I was all about the humor. Now that's coming from someone who was not a big He-Man fan growing up. So
sure. Well, I think that leaning into the absurdity of some of the names and just was great. Like that was,
honestly, how else do you do it? You have characters named Fisto and Ram Man. It's a ridiculous thing. Jersey Maniac says, "What a beautiful shirt, LP." Thank you, Jersey. Yeah, it's at the top of the old laundry pile today. Well, let's go to the chat to start off. We've got some hooligans here that probably have some things to say. We got look at Ishkan is here. What's going on, Ish? He says, "Rob and Bob been hitting the gym." Have you? I mean, the thumbnail says you have.
The thumbnail says I have. I've been going to the chiropractor, my stretch sessions, and I think Pilates starts next week, actually. So that's my version of the show.
Cruiser says he got Brynjar and Naraka early this week. Great figures.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, they are. Let's see here. Magna Figure Photo says, "Hope Rob gives us some hint or peek at the Joe Fest drop."
Okay, we can work on that. Sure.
All right, there we go. Jay Hova says, "Adding Creative B Studios would make this my holy trinity. Have to catch the replay hanging out with my kid." We were talking about Creative B Studios before the show, Rob, and you were saying that I should have
Chris Chaotic. Yeah, you should
Chris
definitely get
Chaotic
Chris on. He's got a lot of energy. I think
yes, he does. I've met him a few times, like at Zolocon. He is a gigantic ball of energy. Like
we're going
tall, but
we're going to China together in September. So I'm going to walk around mainland China with that freaking giant. It's bad enough. You get enough stares already just being Caucasian there.
Right.
And so now I'm bringing a freaking giant with me who, his energy levels are like through the roof. So
right. They're going to think he's like a professional wrestler or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That'll be cool. So you're going to China.
Yeah, I go, it seems like about just once a year, every year now. I'll go about the third week in September, go visit the factory, visit a couple other factories, and then we head over to Wonderfest. And this year we're actually going to have a booth at Wonderfest Shanghai, and which is by far the best toy show I have ever been to in my life. It is like San Diego Comic-Con, but only nothing but toys.
That's insane because San Diego Comic-Con is huge. It's city blocks long. It's huge. And just the toy section of San Diego is already huge. If you're telling me that whole space is all toys.
It's 4 halls. I think it's 4 halls. 4 halls of just like crazy, like when you go to Newark Comic Con and like you got Mondo and maybe NECA or Mezco there, and their booths are like big. Everybody's booth in the like halls 2, 3 are just that freaking big. Like they're like little mini cities. It's yeah.
That's cool. The amount of drops that came out of that show last year was insane. I think I did 3 shows on it.
Yeah, well, I think people don't realize there's like 100 little independent Chinese toy companies.
Yeah,
like trying to put out like crazy cool stuff. So,
well, I mean, that's a great place to start. I mean, we're here to talk about the toy industry, and we are waiting on Bobby still. But look, I say it, and then look who shows up. Bobby Vala, finally here. What's up, man?
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Is anything on fire? Is the important thing. Has anyone lost a limb?
Not yet. Not yet.
Are you coming to us from the new house?
No. I won't. I leave for the new house on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool.
But my current house is empty.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow. Things are happening. Well, thanks for showing up. I know you're real busy. We got Rob Post here from Savage Crucible. Have you guys met? I don't know. You guys talk very often?
I'm here to know this guy.
I got to turn you up, Bobby. You're a little too quiet.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
Hopefully that helps. So we were talking about Wonderfest, and Rob, you mentioned that you go there and it's just 100 different toy companies, and they're all trying to get into a market and break in. Being that you guys are here in the States, American toy companies, there's definitely a disadvantage to living here and your competition in China where the factories are, right?
Oh, certainly, yes.
And what the Chinese companies are making, like if you go to 5K Toys and you see some of their stuff, some of the stuff they're making is just wild.
Mhm.
It's really cool, really intricate, and they're right there with the factories, where they can make quick adjustments. You know, they're not waiting on stuff to be shipped across the ocean. So where do you think this is going? And is this going to be the new way? These Chinese companies just kind of taking over?
Yes and no. I mean, there's always flaws, right? From my perspective, I'm sure Bobby has a different one, but or at least his own. But I think that in the same way that we're hindered, they're also hindered in understanding the U.S. market, right?
Yeah.
So the things that hold them back are price points because they're working at really small boutique factories that are willing to do new things to try them. And so there's a huge learning curve. And then so you'll notice that a lot of these companies only put out 1 or 2 figures per year.
Mhm.
And it's because they have such huge capital constraints in terms of they're not be able to turn around, just keep putting out figures. And then 2 is like they keep trying new things, so it really slows down the production cycle. So on one hand, you get really innovative things. Then on the other hand, they don't have the resources needed to really explode on the scene beyond just the whole not understanding certain cultural differences.
Yeah. Yeah. As they take up more market share, Bobby, we were talking the other day, and you were saying you don't know where this whole collecting thing is going, right? Because people, it's been said that it's a bubble, right? It's a bubble. Bubbles burst, but it keeps growing.
Yeah, I am, while I run a collector company, so it, would benefit me to make sure that collecting still goes. I have always thought it was a bubble. I thought it was a bubble in 2015 when I was at Hasbro and we were flooding the market with more stuff. I was when we introduced 12-inch Legends, we introduced the prop replicas. I thought it was too much then. I was wrong at the timing. I think, yes, the bubble is getting bigger. Now, what happens to a bubble when it gets bigger? It pops more intensely, which is what I believe we are in store for. I don't know if it's 2 years away or 5 or 10. I just know that it's on the somewhat of a horizon because there's too much competition out there, and it's the competition. So even when the competition got crazy, like when McFarlane and NECA, like in the early 2000s, when all that happened, prices were still lower, so it wasn't that crazy. You can put 100 deco ops on something and still have it be an $8 figure, which is what like Legends were at the time. Now we're at the point where, figures are $28, $30, $40, $50, $60. I think it is too much on the collector. And, it's like you can't tell companies like, hey, no, bow out for the greater good. Like, it's just, that's not going to happen. So it's harder. Like, I even noticed, even in the 7 years I've been in business, it's like the change, it was nice. It was like, it was me and it was classified and it was great. And now all of a sudden you have so many more companies coming out of the woodwork and they're doing more stuff. Now it's, I look at it as like good and bad. It's like, okay, well, there are some companies doing something similar to me. There are a lot of companies not doing anything close to me. But as collectors, we want more than just one thing. If people want to collect military, but also want to collect fantasy and also want to collect superheroes and want to collect sports stuff and want to collect monsters or whatever, that means that Their money hasn't grown. Their wallet has not grown. But the stuff in the market has. And that means that, you know, even I look at it like I love Rob. I consider Rob a good friend. Every single toy company except me is a competitor. Everyone. Because if people are coming to, say, DFW and buying, you know, X amount of stuff with us and then going, you know, 10 yards away or 20 yards away down the Rob and spending $100, I'm like, well, I want that $100 too. And I'm sure he would think the same thing, because as a business, I've always said it, you have to be ruthless in order for, you know, everyone's like, oh, everyone should be nice. And oh, shucks, let's hold hands. Let's help each other. Yo, fuck that. Business is business. And if you're a nonprofit, fine, we can all hold hands and sing Kumbaya and say, great, let's all share everything we know. But when you're a business and your livelihood is making money, you have got to make your business the sole focus. So for me, it's a matter of how do I stay ahead of all the competition? That's with price, my pricing, you know, what you're offering, you know, there's so many factors. And that's what I find to be troublesome is the amount of competition in the marketplace currently, because there's so much collector. And now you see the import stuff coming in. Now the import stuff doesn't scare me as much, because I feel that, one, you know, yes, their price points are so much higher. I don't think they will ever get a grasp on the US market. And two, they're putting out one-offs here and there. It's like me, Rob, we put out waves, series, multiple items. They're putting out one thing here, one thing there. And it's like, even Mafex, as big of a company as Mafex is they're not putting out a wave of Batman Hush stuff. They're putting out maybe 2 figures a year. So it's like, that's never really going to be huge competition. I mean, yeah, they're going to take a little piece of the pie. They're not going to take half the pie. You know, the Asia market also is different, because out there, their living spaces are smaller. They don't have like what you have behind you. That's like a mansion behind you. So that's why they do one-offs, one off here, one off there. You know, so, but it's also why it goes in tandem. It's like their stuff isn't going to be as big over here, but also our stuff isn't necessarily going to be big over there as well. Like I sell a lot to Asia retail partners, but nowhere near like what my US partners are taking. Like my US partners collectively are at least triple what, you know, in quantities than what my Asia partners are. Because it's just you know, and also the Asia partners would rather pick and choose. They're not taking like a whole series, a whole wave. They want to pick a few things that they know will definitely sell, and that what they think their market will be hot for. So I know I went like a bunch of different tangents on there, but that's kind of where I was thinking with your original bubble question. I am deathly afraid of when that bubble is going to hit. And when the bubble bursts, yes, there will be companies that definitely survive. And that's what I'm trying to do, is make it to the point where when that happens, people look at Valaverse as something like, that's a company that cares about customers. That's a company that puts out quality product. It puts out price value, that sort of thing, so that when the bubble bursts and maybe other companies start going away or people start cutting back on collecting, a company like Valaverse can still survive on selling to collectors.
Have you guys noticed shifts in like buying behavior? Is it more of a, you see more like value focused items doing better, or the premium stuff?
So I think going back to the bubble thing, I think there's multiple types of bubbles.
Yeah.
And so when you look back at COVID, that was a bubble of people purchasing and
Yeah.
speculation, and then trying to do like online businesses. And so you saw the companies, a lot of the companies that were in existence at that point saw this huge demand. And that's where you see a glut of inventory, is because of that demand curve during COVID. And so they overproduced for about 18 months after that. And those companies have all this inventory sitting there that they can't get rid of. And so like that burst, right? And then I think what Bobby's also alluding to is like there's been these multiple different bubbles that pop up with in 2015, the 2018 was like the what we call the Kickstarter, Boss Fight and Four Horsemen. They didn't start it, but they were the two successful out the gate ones. And then all these little other guys started popping up that didn't have the skill sets necessary to be successful. And that's when a lot of those Kickstarters, for whatever reason, didn't make it. And then I think that's what Bobby's alluding to right now, is there are a lot of Kickstarters right now with people that don't have the skill sets and or the capital and the time needed to learn it. And so we feel like there might be another sort of series. And it's unfortunate because I don't think none of us want anybody to fail. I think that's an important thing about being a soldier is you can kill the enemy, but you can still respect your enemy that's a soldier, right? So I think that's the perspective from my side on that. But yes, you're definitely going to see buying trends in the future. You're already seeing that right now.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bobby. No, I was going to say, like, there are times where I see it, I'll be like, oh, well, I thought that would be different, or that item may have sold out quicker. But then something like, I put out the black, and the black's like, the orders just are not stopping, and it's just like, holy shit, like this is crazy. So yeah, it all depends. I think it depends on the items that are being put out. But it's so hard to predict. So hard.
I think the focus mostly has to be on putting out the best possible product in an environment like this. So I'm a firm believer that competition makes you better. It gives you the opportunity to see if someone comes out with something that works, you pay attention. If someone comes out with something that doesn't work, you pay attention. And just it's every opportunity is an opportunity to learn from what other people are doing. And so I think it definitely puts the onus on us as toy companies to come out with some really compelling products, getting away from a little bit of the generic, this should work, but also making everything fun. And I think that's really the difference for some, because you have different types of collectors, right? You have the people that actually want to make customs, kit bashes. You have the people that just want to flip things, or like there's some intrinsic value to it. There's the people that truly want something that nobody else has. And so there's different subsets of collectors, and trying to hit as many of those as possible on different notes is a complicated thing to pull off.
As indie companies who don't currently have, well, that's not true. You guys do have licenses, but you are focused on original IP. Like Savage Crucible is a lot of original IP with some Frazetta, and you got Michael Moorcock worked in, and Bobby, you've got Rocketeer working into your World War II stuff. But with the indies and your original IPs, going forward, do you think that's going to be the future, or will nostalgia continue? Because I've been seeing a lot lately people saying nostalgia's dead, like it's done. But then again, you go to Target and there's an entire aisle of He-Man and a half an aisle of Star Wars. Now Star Wars has shrunk, right? There's still Marvel and DC on the shelves, but how many times can you reboot a DC line? Mattel to McFarlane, back to Mattel, and then you got the imports. Do you think that the collectors now are focusing more on wanting something new, or just continuing to regurgitate nostalgia-based properties?
I think there's definitely been a shift. But also, yeah, I think companies are running out of nostalgia. So, it's like, you're at the end with Classified. It's like, okay, well, you have to start creating new characters, or tapping into like, later lines like Pursuit of Cobra and stuff like that. I think the nostalgia stuff, you're almost tapped out. He-Man, yeah, it's like, I like with the Origins line, it's like I only wanted to collect the original line. I don't care about the filmation or anything like that. But then I see, like, when I first started Action Force, there was always going to be that comparison to Classified, and people were like, yeah, and we saw it a lot with the Vanguard. It's like, it's cool, but like I like the Vamp or something because it's nostalgia. Like I know it. Well, okay, that's cool, but you know, when the Vamp first came out, there was nothing else like it. So you have to start somewhere. That's why, like when I hear kind of those comments, I'm like, dude, like your line that you love, that you're holding on to this nostalgia bait, like started from nothing. So you have to, you know, tap into new stuff every now and then. But also now it's like, okay, well, that was when Action Force kind of first started. Now it's like Action Force is 7 years old. We put out almost 200 items. It's like, you know, people know the characters, and yes, I've been behind on the comics, but there's still like a build. And now people are like, oh, okay. And I see less of that. I see less of people saying like, well, it's not, I don't know the brand. It's like now people are like, hey, I just found your brand. This is awesome. So there's definitely been a shift on my end that I've noticed.
I would say that nostalgia never dies. It just shifts with the population changes. So I think what those people are alluding to is that what they were nostalgic for has truly been over milked. I think our blind sides that we have are those gaps. So when you think about it, if you didn't have a younger brother that was 12 years younger or something, you didn't truly understand the kids market for 12-year-olds or people that were 12 years younger than you. Then go back 6 more years. And so like there's little subsets. So those nostalgias keep hitting, right? So like, yeah, I had some turtles when I was a kid, but I didn't hit the big turtle nostalgia thing because I was just a little like, you know, about 2 or 3 years outside of that. Liked the movies, whatever, but didn't go crazy. And so I wonder like what kind of IPs there are in those mid 2000s to 2012 that don't really resonate with me, but there's a whole group of people that it resonates with because I didn't watch it at all, right? And I think that goes back to like some people really like 2000X He-Man because that was like their introduction to He-Man. But it wasn't as big of a success as the original in terms of like sales volume, right? So it still has nostalgia for certain selected people. It goes back to like, how much can you milk certain nostalgia for how long before that customer base is like, you've hit it. I don't need it anymore. And so I think that goes back to like reimagining things like with the Rocketeer, which when Bobby first told me about it a couple months ago, I was so excited about that. Cause like, it's not just the Rocketeer again, like you saw in the Joe Johnston movie. It's like, what if? And I love the what ifs. And so I think I saw someone in the comments talking about Berserker. Berserker is an awesome character. The problem that you're going to run into when you try to license an IP from a Japanese company is that they're going to have a look that they want, and they don't want you to reimagine it. Mm-hmm. They want you to do just that. All right. That's how controlling they are. And it makes sense why they want to control their IP. And so it goes back to like, I've always wanted to do like Thundar or the Herculoids, but like not in the, like cartoon centric, but like updated for now, like highly detailed what you would want it to be. Cause I always go back to like the original Optimus Prime toy. It's fucking ugly. Okay.
Yeah. I was so disappointed when I got that and opened it as a kid because I'm like, this is not like the cartoon.
No, not at all, right? Yeah. Like you wanted the cartoon, and you think about it, when that first cartoon Optimus Prime came out, people like fucking that's really what started a lot of collector phase, not just Spawn, but like things like that. They're like, oh hell yeah, that's what I wanted when I was a kid. And so that goes back to like bringing in IPs that are what I call the low-hanging fruit. Like they let you reimagine them, they let you bring it into your world, and that brings in those new collectors into your own IP. And that's really what we need. I think that's where the sprinkles and the icing on the actual cake really come into play.
In a lot of ways, I think that guys our age that are collectors are nostalgic for toys themselves, for action figures. And not necessarily just an IP. Like I love the medium of action figures. You know, that's why I'll get the most random stuff just because I think it's a cool action figure. The younger generations, I mean, they're buying less and less toys, let alone action figures. You know, and in fact, I just saw Toy Story 5 last night, which was great. But the whole theme of the movie is kids being tied to devices and leaving behind toys. So, I mean, where do we go from there? Like, is there going to be enough people to support an industry focused on action figures, like you guys, the indies, focused on action figures, 20 years from now?
Well, that's why I am a firm believer in that bubble, because I'm struggling with it now. Like with it kind of, I've been thinking more about it just because I'm moving, and it's like, yes, I'm moving into a much bigger house. I have more space, but I'm like, should I sell my stuff? Like the market's really hot for my vintage stuff. I'm like, is it going to be hot in 5 years? Like, and I'm just turned 44. It's like, I'm like, when I'm 50, am I still going to be a collector? Maybe. I don't know. When I'm 55, am I still going to be a collector? Or am I going to be like, why do I have all this stuff? It's like, so that's why I'm like, I don't know how much longer we have, because my customers, collector customers, they're adult collectors. It's like, there's not many, like, don't get me wrong, there are still a good amount of collectors in their 30s and 20s that I've noticed that come to the shows, buy our stuff. But the majority is, 35 to 55.
I wonder if there's enough to. I think so. Me personally, I think there will be enough to support indies for a long time, because you guys work at much smaller numbers. But the big guys, the Hasbros, the Mattels, with Legends, Black Series, Motu, Transformers, while the IPs are being kept alive, maybe on life support with media, TV shows, movies, like, how do they survive? Because they have to have big numbers. They have to move big numbers to stay in Target, to stay in Walmart.
But they might not have to. They might be going, like, less stuff is being sold Target and Walmart, and they're leveraging Pulse a lot more.
Hasbro is, yeah.
When I was there and Daryl was running Pulse, I was trying to tell the team, like, dude, we should do gear, like maybe not necessarily gear packs, but those items that, Target and Walmart wouldn't give you peg space for. And I was like, why don't we just put it on Pulse? We can control our quantity. No one wanted to even think about that. Pulse was like the redheaded stepchild back then. And now all of a sudden it's like this big thing. And now you don't have to worry about item count. Back when I was there, it was like, hey, Marvel, you have 85 items, and 30 of those are going to be Legends. The rest are going to be split into movie X, Y, and Z, and then, Titan Hero, the Evergreen line. Now there's no item count anymore. Well, there probably is in a small way, but you get so much more freedom, because it's like, oh, fan channel. And it's like, oh, if only certain amount of fan channel takes it, well, we could make it Pulse too. And then it's like, oh, we have Pulse. So it's like, you don't have to rely on doing, say, a 75,000 piece run of something because you need to go to all Targets and Walmarts. Now it's like, shoot, man, we can do a 15,000 piece run of something and we can sell it on Pulse. Like, I have an insider at, my former company, where they told me what the quantities are that go up on Pulse, why things sell out. Because I was like, why are these selling out so fast? I was like, are that many people really ordering this? And he's like, no, this is just the quantities that they're doing. He told me, I'm like, geez, man, those quantities aren't that far off from my quantities. So, they can go less. Like, Hasbro can do a 10,000 piece run. They don't have to do 20, 30, 40, 50,000 piece runs. They can do 10,000. It's just that they needed the model to do it, and now they have the model to do it.
With Pulse.
Yeah. Yeah, Pulse and fan channel shared. Yeah. So
that's how they. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep. All
right. So then there's
no buyback. If you send items to Walmart and Target and they don't perform, there's buyback situations. You don't have to do that with those.
Yeah.
But Ryan, you're on point. The big boys have to figure out ways to move volume or increase margin, which is what Bobby's really also alluding to as well, in order to survive. And if the core demographic nostalgia's or core demographics nostalgia is being over milked, then they have to shift into making things for a different demographic. And so if they want to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're definitely raising their margins. I mean, and not just in price point, but in they're lowering value, because if you look at for instance, the Dusty and Sandstorm 2-pack, and you compare it to something like Mutton Junkyard or Crocmaster from a few years ago, the difference is wild. And the price has gone up by like $12.
Yeah.
You know,
see, that's where they're thinking smart in one sense, like let's leverage Pulse more. But then they're thinking like absolute idiots and shooting themselves in the foot when they're like, they still have that retail mentality. If I were Hasbro, I would 100% take all of my collector stuff out of Target and Walmart. Take it all out. And I would strictly sell on Pulse and Fan Channel. Because at the end of the day, how much stuff are you really finding at Target and Walmart? And also, if you're Hasbro, like, yes, do I love my retail partners? I do. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I hate selling stuff at wholesale prices. Hate it. Fucking hate it. I'm like,
but I mean, Target and Walmart buy a lot because they each have like 2,000 stores.
But that's the thing. If their quantities are starting to go down, which I would assume they are, why do I want to sell you wholesale pricing when I have my own like dedicated site where I can get 100% of the profit? And it's not like Hasbro doesn't have Hasbro has tons of warehouses everywhere. It's not like they can't house this stuff. So I would change the model up and I would say, all right, well, we're not losing money. But then you have to think, and this is where Hasbro will never do this, because if you change the model and go away from Target and Walmart and sell strictly on your collector site and Fan Channel, you'd have to almost lower prices, but that would never, ever happen. So now this is where, my inside source was telling me the shit show that happened with the spoiler, because they priced the thing as if it's going to Target and Walmart. It's like, no, dummies, price it the way it's going to your Pulse site. You're not paying a royalty. You're not losing money because of wholesale pricing. You're getting all the profit because you're selling this thing on your site. So why are you jacking it up to 110? And then the thing performed poorly, like incredibly poorly. Like he told me it was their worst performing item like ever. Like that went up for pre-order. Wow. So it's like,
do you think part of that is people's their wallets are just pinched right now? It's got to be a part of it.
Yes, and that's the thing. When I was talking about the competition, it's like, why is it so important for me to lower prices? Because there's so much competition out there. It's like, if my $28 figure has more than another company's $40 figure, well, then that's the win right there. That's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, yeah, some people might go and buy that $40 figure, but the majority of people are going to be like, no, I'm buying the $28 figure. So that's, my philosophy is quantity, price value. It's but it, like, Hasbro will never do it. They'll never change the way they think, and they'll never tailor prices differently. And that's the crazy part, is every single thing they put up for pre-order is higher than the thing that was like it previously. It's like, what was Dusty, $52?
Yeah.
I was like, $52 for a figure that can't do wraparound camo and has a coyote that is a mix match of parts that don't fit it. It's like $52. You guys are out of your mind. Now, also, yes, I have no love for Hasbro and the way they do things, but I'm also like, why are you guys buying this? And this is where the nostalgia thing comes in. It's like, but it's Dusty. It's like, yeah, but every time they give you a figure that you haven't gotten yet, or a new version of a figure from the Real American Hero line, and then they throw an animal in it, It's like you're getting bent over with no lube. It's like, dude, $52 for a figure and a coyote? Like, seriously, man? Like, that's terrible. But they're milking them. It's like you could have made Hooded Cobra Commander a $30 figure, no throne, but it's like, watch this. We're gonna milk them. And it's like, you got to stop squeezing them like a sponge. Same thing with the Royal Guard. Should have never been that offering at that price point. Should have been a 2-pack, or it should have been a lower cost offering because it's a troop builder. But no one's thinking that way there. And that's where they're losing their foothold in the marketplace.
See, I wonder if they're looking at indie stuff and saying, well, let's, price it like that. But they're not offering the value that indie companies do. They're just not. Yeah. I can buy a $30 Marvel Legend, or like a $60 Elric, and like for me, there's way more value in this than a $30 Marvel Legend. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, everybody that's working on a team at Hasbro collects toys. I mean, there might be that one guy that just doesn't, but most everybody there is a collector, and they're collecting indie stuff too. They're checking it out. I think that's just a bureaucratic difference, right? They have ideas, they might want to implement them. Bobby's butted his head against that wall. Lots of people that just recently left have butted their heads up against that wall in terms of we should do this, and they can't. And then if they do, the execution is probably muddled because people from higher up are making decisions without a full understanding of what they're making decisions about. So it's a difficult place to be.
That's a big advantage you guys have, is that you can kind of just do what you want. There's no corporate overlord telling you to cut costs or cut corners, remove items from the, so yeah. Fair. But we got a lot going on in the chat right now that we have to get to because we're already 42 minutes into the show. Let's see here. We got Hightower here. Hightower, Sean, what's up, man? Good to see you. He says, he's been a member for 5 months. He says, what's up, all? Hope to see these two giants at Titan Toys and Toy Unity Expo. Keep up the good work.
You will. Yeah, baby.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, Titans Toys. Now that's in October, November.
Yeah, that's in October, right outside Nashville. That's gonna be a really awesome show. We're doing some great things there. I think Bobby's already shown his exclusive drop for the show, his drop and his exclusive for the show at DFW. Is it the Ocular Serpent?
Ocular Serpent, baby.
Yeah, I think Kevin did the head sculpt on that one.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
So that thing is pretty awesome. We haven't revealed our exclusive yet. We haven't revealed our drop, which they're two different ones. So, but you got a little taste of it. But it's gonna be a great show. And Toy Unity, we're still shaping that up. Ninja's got a couple more tricks up the sleeve. So I'm excited. I think I'm not turning too red thinking about it, but yeah, good stuff.
Right on. Ramen Toy, thank you, Ace, for being a member for 34 months. He says, thanks again, Rob, for the drinks and dinner in Torrance. I will return the jester in Shanghai. What else can I write to use up my 150-word member chat? You can write that.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see Ace in Shanghai. Wonderfest is just crazy. If you ever get the chance to go, it's really hard to get in. Just as a participant, it is really hard to get in, especially from the US. Like so the way you buy tickets, you have to buy it through their system. So that's not like something you can just do here in the United States. So
yeah.
But
all right. Let's see. We got Ghost in the Shell Toes 73. Member for 6 months. I got all the black Brenyar and Naraka. I love them.
I love that head swap that Ryan you did with the black on Naraka.
Yeah,
yeah, that was sweet.
It fit well. Yeah. Let's see here. We got our buddy Espo, member for 28 months. Thank you, Espo. He says, got one of the last Elric's best fantasy figure out there. Any chance its success leads to more knights and humans? Maybe those vampire knights you teased.
100% chance. Yes.
Awesome. Valashill says, "What's that figure on the right of Rob?"
That right there, that's a poster of Death Dealer. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's just a poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? I see a poster.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. All right. We got Eclipse Freak 7 member for 8 months. Thank you. Awesome meeting both of you gentlemen at Motuniverse. Had a chance to get Elric before the show started. Thank God. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad we got to meet you.
So it was funny having Elric there because you had a case.
Yep.
There was 20, and I figured they'd be gone within 5 minutes.
We were wrong.
Yeah, everyone was there for Masters of the Universe.
Yep.
Now, I imagine DFW was a bit different.
Hella different, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Elric did sell out day one at Motuniverse, but it took like, I don't know, maybe an hour or two.
No, I think it took like 3 hours.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Okay.
like it was crazy. I was like, it was a humbling experience from my perspective, because I really thought, like, we didn't bring hardly any inventory.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people there for both the early bird and when the doors opened, but they were there for Motu. Like, that's what they were there for, period.
Yeah.
Which was a really, so I give it to Mega J. Like, he definitely honed in on the audience that he needed to show up to make that show successful for them. And it just goes back to, this kind of goes back to some of the, DFW. We did well there. I know Bobby did well there, but it's sort of interesting when you look at the booths and you see like them and Joe Fest are like, I don't even know there's that. I mean, I think there's more at DFW than there actually are at Joe Fest in terms of 12-inch Joes. Like that nostalgia kick, that crowd that's buying those, man, that's small. Like, that is aged out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be like the last show that I can think of that has those 12-inch Joes out there, like with multiple vendors. Sometimes you'll see like one vendor has it, right? But like, no, there's like multiple vendors selling 12-inch Joes there.
Well, there was a fan that came by our booth multiple times during DFW, and he was definitely in his early 20s. And he was buying up vintage 12-inch Joes. Like, he came by the booth twice. Like, oh, check out this. Look at this deal I just got on this figure. And I'm like, wow. He's like the unicorn, But it was just like interesting seeing, one young person. But it also goes into, who runs the show. Greg he comes from that 12-inch collector, genre there. So, he's obviously going to give more space to those kind of guys. Some people run shows and it's a lot different. But then you go to like a ZoloCon. ZoloCon has toys of every era, genre, you name it. But like, I don't think I ever saw like anyone selling vintage 12-inch Joes, at least at like a booth dedicated to them. Or in like a big way, maybe one or two, but
I don't think there was.
I don't remember that being at Zolo. I mean, there was some other vintage stuff, maybe. Well, that's like when you go to the Chicago Toy Show. There's a booth there that a guy is selling like these old 1930s die-cast airplanes. Like,
yeah,
really cool. I bought one because I was like, it's like the first toy, so why not? Like, at least in America. So I was like, all right, cool, but like, how big is that market, right?
It's probably as small as model trains. Let's see here. We go. Oh, look at this. We got Mercen Twister with 5 3POA podcast memberships. Thank you so much, Mercen Twister. Always, every show, 5 memberships from her. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. This one's for you.
Turn down for what?
You seen that one, Rob? You like that?
say no.
Where do you guys get this stuff?
Exactly.
Thank you again, Maricen Twister. Slaying the Barbarian says it does remind me a bit of board gaming from a few years ago when Kingdom Death Monster triggered the beginning of the Kickstarter boom. That comment's old.
Well, I'm going to tell you that if you look at the tabletop gaming market, so I want to say like you have D&D, which holds about 30-something% of the market. The next closest competitor is Pathfinder at 10 to 15%. And then everything below that is like 2% or less. That's how fragmented that market is. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. We got Zakanen here, member for 25 months. Thank you, Zakanen. He says 2 out of 3 panelists don't think I'm the worst. That's Bobby and Rob. I think he's the worst. That's I don't like him.
Oh man.
Let's see here. Artie says the best 2 companies that are currently on the market. Best figures, hands down. Thanks, Bobby and Rob.
Look at that, Rob. We are changing shit.
Yeah.
I really appreciate them saying that.
Robert's Infinite Realm says imports have become too pricey. They will be the big casualty first, at least in the USA. Maybe. Especially with the way shipping is, man. Like for me, it's almost more shipping than price point on imports. Like the shipping is getting out of hand, like ordering stuff from overseas.
Oh God, this is gonna bore the shit out of people. But like the thing about inflation is it can dramatically change your perception of the price of something. And so if inflation keeps going the way it is, suddenly your mindset is that if it costs you $150 to fill up your gas tank, which is, let's just call it $100 today or $75 today, your mindset on what a $80 figure is dramatically changes. And so if they don't have experienced the same inflation rate in China that we do here, that will flip, and that can in 5 years make a huge difference. Those are unknowns, but that definitely changes the game a lot.
True. So it's not just inflation. I mean, there's things like tariffs. I guess tariffs cause inflation, but as independent toy creators, what are some of the bigger challenges right now that you face trying to get toys made?
Well, we've both experienced the increase in plastic costs.
Yeah,
we've already been forewarned about that.
Yeah.
Is that the Strait of Hormuz?
Yes, very much so.
Should collectors expect a price point increase because of that plastic increase?
Well, I mean, if the price of crude increases by, let's say, 35%, then all the other things being equal, the price of plastic increases by 35%. And so that there's a trickle through. It doesn't mean your figure will increase by 35%. It just means that the price of plastic will increase by 35%. So that will equate to, depending on the product you choose, how much it increases, and you can be anywhere from like 10 to like 30%. But that's a short-term thing. At least I was hoping it was going to be a short-term thing. We'll see how long that drags out. And when you think about it from production cycles, that's, you might see that in 18 months. You might see it sooner in smaller companies that have quicker turnaround, but some of the larger companies that have much longer production cycles, it might take a while before you see that.
So I keep seeing people talk about tariffs, like in YouTube, in Facebook toy groups, on Instagram, tariffs. What is the definitive word? What are tariffs right now? How much are they right now?
I want to say it's like 20%. There's a 10% plus 10%.
Mm-hmm.
And as opposed to late 2024, before there were tariffs on toys, or there was tariffs, or like, what was the increase? Where did it settle at?
From what now Rob knows probably a little more about this than I do, but before all the crazy tariff shit went down, pretty sure tariffs on toys were still 20%. So it's the same as it was.
No, they were zero. There were certainly tariffs on toys. I mean, on Chinese products, but there were no tariffs on action figures and plastics coming out of China prior to this whole ramp up. So you went from zero to like, I don't even remember what elasticity it got. Was it 85 to 125 or something?
I mean, it's all over. Did anyone actually pay that? Or
yes,
it got settled, right?
No, you paid it. Like,
gotcha. If
you ship stuff here, and whatever price you put on your shipping invoice, you paid it. Period. It is what it is. I think the more reasonable level of 10 and 20% are there to stay for right now, unless there's some drastic changes. I think the question that I think you're really getting at is, well, some people raise their prices because of that situation, but they didn't decrease them once it went back down to 20%, right? Or went to 20%. I think that's the heart of your question, which is an excellent question. And I can't speak for everybody in every company. But that is the thing about a tax. That is the thing about price increases. It is very hard to go the other way. Once you start taxing something, you get used to that. You get fat on it per se. And that's why it never goes away. That's why you don't actually see reduction in taxes. What you see is a reduction in a tax and then a new tax created to offset that. And so I have a hard time believing that our government will ever get away from there being tariffs at this point.
Damn it. But so they're 20%, but that's not 20% of retail cost. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's 20% of your manufacturing cost.
Correct.
Right. So if a figure costs $30, it's not going up 20% of $30.
Well, not really. Not that your math's a little bit wrong there. So the way that a lot of companies do it is, let's just say your figure costs $10 and it now costs $12. Well, they were probably selling it for like anywhere from $24 to $30, right? Maybe 35 to 38. And so what they do is they just have whatever multiplier that based on the gross profit they want to hit. So yes, overall, you should be seeing a 20% increase if they're not taking it in their margins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It gets a little bit more complicated when the difference between direct to consumer and retailers, right?
Yeah.
Because then you have two different parties, maybe possibly eating part of that price increase. So it doesn't look the same.
Gotcha. Oh, boy. Well, all right. Let's get back to the chat. We got Jehovah Toys here with the $2. Thank you. Vane and Elric are 2026 figures of the year.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Jehovah Toys. We got Holy Hand for $5. I can't watch live. Just wanted to ask, how hard is it for a Western toy company to get a Japanese IP like Berserk, for example?
I guess I'll take this. I don't think that it's necessary. Well, any company, yeah, it's hard. Certain companies, if you have a reputation and you have people that can speak for you, you have a shot. Once again, certain IPs are very strongly controlled on how they look visually, and they do not want someone going outside of that visual approach. And that's what makes it hard when you're trying to adapt something to you. So yeah, Berserker can definitely is a possibility. I mean, just go to License Expo in Vegas. It's pretty crazy. Anything you can think of is there.
Yeah. We got Tim Brower, member for 4 months here. Thank you. He says, love the Black Bobby. I need more Corsair troops.
Thanks, man. So I've been getting a ton of messages about when the Corsairs are coming back in stock. We want to get through all the orders because I held back stock. And then we had some stock left over from DFW. So once we get through all these orders, which will be done Monday, Tuesday, Jordan and I will go through the warehouse and we will take our inventory and I'll figure out what I have, left over for Corsairs and then probably do some sort of drop for them within the next week or two.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Tim Brower. The Titan 914 says nostalgia is undoubtedly a powerful motivator, but many of the classic IPs have been obliterated. So filling the void is what Savage, Crucible, and Valaverse do.
Thank you.
Sure.
I will say one other thing about IPs that people don't understand. It makes it really difficult for companies like Valaverse and Harvinger Studios is a lot of IPs have been bought up under conglomerates and are all like just thousands of IPs are being held. And those institutions much rather just let the IP die than let a small indie company do something with it. And that's just the way it is. That might seem vague. I don't know if anybody really wants to get into that, but that is definitely something that happens a lot. So there are a lot of IPs, comparing the Japanese Berserk one, it's not that it's Japanese, that makes it hard to get. it's actually easier to get in some ways because the creators are the creators and they still have some influence with the company, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of IPs, they're just on lockdown and nothing's ever going to happen with them, period.
I can definitely attest to what Rob is saying. I went to a giant IP holder that maybe has made a movie about a guy flying an F-16. And I went to them about a dead IP, dead. Because I said, I want to do this stuff because it's a passion project of mine. And they literally said to us, the cost to have an attorney go through the contract isn't worth what we would get in royalties. And that's a perfect, that literally happened. I literally had this conversation with them. And I was just like dumbfounded by that. Like, wait, for real? Like, you don't want to make anything? And it's like, yeah, because they have to pay one of their in-house attorneys to go through this contract or do it all up. And it's not worth whatever the royalty is on whatever the small quantity was that I would be paying, you know, or putting out. So yeah, they would much rather let this stuff die. Now there's, you know, and then there's part of me, I'm like, you know, maybe I could just go and steal an IP. It seems like a company does just fine doing that, but, you know, but I'd rather not go that route.
It's not worth it to pay a lawyer to go through it.
And you have to question whether that's actually the real mentality or that's the line that someone's spilling, because at the heart of at the end of the day, maybe the person above them is in on it and understanding that, no, we just don't license this stuff because we don't want someone else to go make it a big deal, then it competes with us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good point. I tell you what is worth it though, guys. You know what's worth it? Buying your toys at nerdzoic.com. That's right. How about that, Rob? You like that transition? Definitely worth it. You know why? Because Nerdzoic has something called the Nerd Stash. And right now you can go pre-order the Chuck E. Cheese figure from Sneak Attack Toys. It's a Kickstarter right now, but Nerdzoic is in on the action. You can order it through him if you want. And throw it in your Nerd Stash. Let your orders pile up. Save a little bit on shipping. He just got in the, there we go. The NR 112 Catwoman. Rob, we were talking about this before the show, and you were like super impressed with what they do over at NR. And I got to tell you, I have this figure, and she's beautiful. It's a great figure. Amazing figure. And you should collect it, Rob. And you should buy it at nerdzoic.com, Rob.
I love Matt. Matt's such a great human being.
Yes, I mean, he likes you. He's selling Savage Crucible too.
Yes, he
Naraka
is.
and Brenyar Vale are over there on nerdzoic.com, as are some NECA stuff. He has Action Force. He has the black. I just looked. He's got the black. He's got Vane. He's got it all over at nerdzoic.com. And the best part, we're talking about prices. Prices are going up. The cost of shipping is going up. Save a few bucks. Use the Nerd Stash at nerdzoic.com. Buy these figures, throw them in your Nerd Stash, and when you're ready, you let Matt know. You say, Matt, I'm ready for my Nerd Stash. Hit me in the face, neck, and chest with that thing. And he says, okay. And he ships it to you for one low shipping price. One, not $1. It's more than that. But it's one low shipping price. And let me tell you, it's low. Okay, you save a couple bucks there. And then you end up buying so much stuff that you're in on the Nerdzoic reward points. You know what those are, Bobby? You know what Nerdzoic reward points? See, when you spend money on nerdzoic.com, you earn rewards points. Did you know that?
I am aware.
Well, you should be, because I've read this ad like 90 times. So you use your Nerdzoic reward points. It's basically the same as cash. It's money saved in your account so you can buy more. You can buy more Savage Crucible and Valaverse. So why not? Why wouldn't you go to nerdzoic.com? There's no reason. There's no reason not to go to nerdzoic.com unless you need the new Bloody Jester on Amazon. Then you have to go there. But besides that, you go to nerdzoic.com, save some money, support a small family-owned business. Nerdzoic.com, they're small enough to care, but big enough to deliver. Bobby, you should pay me to read ads for you. Just saying. I'm just saying, Bobby.
Maybe I would have given it some thought, but then you plug the Chuck E. Cheese figure, and I was like, well, why would you do that? So
What's wrong with Chuck E. Cheese? You don't like Chuck E. Cheese now? What are you, showbiz? What?
are you not aware?
Are we about to have a trauma experience here? Is this like a bit of trauma bonding experience?
Are you not aware who's tied to that project?
Chuck E. Cheese? I have no idea.
Oh man.
I didn't know it was a thing until right then.
It's the Bull. It's the Bull Airs thing.
Yeah, who do you think he's working with?
Needles? I have no idea.
He's working with Vonner.
No.
Yeah.
On Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah.
No.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I need to look into that. That's the first I've heard of it. That's the first I've heard of it. Just go with it, Bobby. Okay.
Some people make bad business decisions.
Well, I'll let you know that I just ordered that Catwoman. I want to take a look at it. So
yeah, it's good. You got, but you missed out on the Batman.
You made a sale.
There you go. Awesome.
I made a sale. There we go.
Awesome. Let's see here. We got TK Storm Geek Room for $5. Thank you. My two favorite modern toy companies. Keep cranking out awesomeness. F my wallet. Like, comment, and subscribe. Look at that. You guys got a lot of fans here tonight. Thank you, TK Storm. Let's see here. Zombies and stuff says everybody has their own thing for their time. Eventually, nostalgia will make people want it again when they are older.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Nostalgia, yes, but nostalgia isn't always on one product. I mean, like you could have nostalgia for something and have no interest in toys.
Sure.
You know, that's the whole thing.
I'll tell you, when we're dead and we're in the ground in dust, there'll be a whole group of people in our age bracket buying the shit out of blind boxes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, kids today, that is what they are about, is blind boxes.
Yeah. Russell has a question for you, Bobby. Do you have any plans for any World War II vehicles for the new World War II line? I mean,
yeah, I mean, I showed that Flak 38. I mean, I know it's not like its own powered vehicle, but yeah, I mean, I said it during the panel. It's like I definitely want to do vehicles. That line lends itself to being very vehicle heavy. We just got to get there. It's going to take time, but we'll get there.
And I mean, you teased one vehicle in particular, not just the Flak. Did you want to circle back to that?
I teased the vehicle.
You said, well, maybe not. Okay, we'll move on. Robert Mink.
You're bringing up stuff. I'm like, you're making me question my own company. I'm like, wait a second. I kind of think I know what I'm doing.
You didn't tease it, but you said you wanted to do it. And you mentioned it like 3 times.
Yeah, a Sherman. Yeah, I want to do a Sherman. Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. We got, let's see here. Robert Mangiana for $2. Thoughts on new SH Figure Arts Psylocke. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't seen it.
Let's see if I can get a picture of it here.
Mofex did one too recently, right?
The Mofex one isn't that great.
Mm.
So he wants your thoughts on this thing right here.
Ooh, some hips.
Yeah. If you ask me, it's the best looking one so far.
I mean, I really like the detail touch towards the abdomen. That's a nice,
it's a really deep belly button.
It is, but it's a nice.
It's nice. All right. Robert's Infinite Realms thinks he says, I got a couple of Motu Origins I missed, and if they do any Bronze Age Marvel Legends, besides that, I'm done with nostalgia. Okay. Ramen Toy says, when I see Transformers in Toys R Us here in China, I can guarantee no kid knows what they are. They are only for the kids' parents, is what I am thinking.
Possibly.
Toy shopping in Hong Kong is a different experience.
Yes.
Yeah. The one thing when I went there and I went to the big Toys R Us in Hong Kong, the thing that shocked me was how far behind they are on everything. It's like their Marvel Legends section had stuff that I worked on when I was at Hasbro. And I'm like, dude, this shit's like 6, 7 years old, 8 years old. Like, it's kind of crazy how behind they were. And it was like, it wasn't like discount or anything like that. It was like right there. Like that was their Legend stuff. I'm like, oh.
Right, but then they have a Labubu store in every mall in
True.
Hong Kong
This is
2
true.
years ago, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it goes back to like certain things being culturally different that don't translate, but then sometimes you have that crossover pollination, like Labubu finally did, but Labubu was around for a while.
Yeah.
Where that thing went through the roof.
Yeah.
That's on the way down now, like that Labubu thing.
Yes.
You know, talk about bubbles.
And well, now it's Nitos. Ryan, does your son have a Nito yet?
Don't even know what that is. He's 16 though.
So
that's
he's
the
a little
dumplings.
older. Huh?
The dumplings were huge too for a little
So
bit.
dumplings and Nitos are the new trend right now because my kids want both of them. Nitos are like basically like squishy cubes. Like it's like this gel squishy cube. And I'm like, really? This is the trend? But then it's like there's all this stuff coming out with them where if you leave them in a hot car and then if you try to like squish them, they'll explode and the gel gets on you. But it's just dumb. But it's also like the kids, like, you know, a lot of kids have, you know, the ADHD and they're, you know, like my son, he can't like sit in a chair. He's like, when we sit down for dinner, he stands, he fidgets, and the kids need like these things that to just squish and fidget with them. And that's what these Nitos are. And I'm like, this is so dumb. And it's like, it's just like Labubus. Like you can't find them in stores. They're so hard to get. And see the same thing with the dumplings.
So the toys that kids are getting into nowadays are so weird to me. I just don't get. They're more like fidgets than toys.
Yeah, they're fidget trendy things.
Yeah.
It's because you are not watching what they're watching.
It's true.
This
I'm not.
is very true. Yeah.
And I went to Washington SummerCon yesterday, a local show here. And it's becoming a very big show. And I'm surrounded by furries. Like I'm like seriously, like I'm looking around like it's all furries and dudes dressed up like anime girls. Like I don't know what's going on here. I don't get this. You know, I'm just here like looking for comic books and action figures and whatever. I guess that means I'm old. Get off my lawn.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Kent Heltzinger, member for 28 months. Thank you. 100% agree. I'm 30 and I have bought 12 Action Force and only 1 classified. 0 Legends. 2 Black Series. I'm over the old IP. Love Lieutenant Hune.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, Kent. Good to see you. I got Steel Dog saying Valor vs. Action Force has captured the soul of what action figures were back in the 80s. File card, action points, mail-aways, new characters joining every year. Just enough nostalgia, but fresh and new.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Scott Hughes, member for 34 months. Thank you, Scott. How did Hasbro get to such poor distribution from the 80s where Joe was stacked floor to ceiling in every KB, TRU, Kmart, Walmart, Sears, TG, and Y?
That's the retail model changed. You know? Yeah, when you have a Toys R Us, it's like, Rob, could you imagine if Toys R Us was still around? You know how easy it would be for us to get placement there? Toys R Us took everything. Now it's like the model changed to the point where you got all that shelf space is gone, and now it's, you know, a fraction of it in a Target and a Walmart.
Well, I heard some interesting things about malls these days. I was told, because we were noticing some stores popping up, and we're like, man, the rent must be crazy. You don't know how you afford that space. And the reaction was, well, no, we don't rent it. We don't pay a monthly rent for that space. The mall gets a percentage of their sales.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
I was like blown away by that model. I was like, I'd never even considered that or even knew that was a thing, but
yeah,
it was a very interesting conversation to have. Yeah.
Also, as far as distribution, I mean, it's not just that Toys R Us is gone, but I think buying habits have changed. I mean, people scroll their phones and buy stuff.
No, I was in a Toys R Us in Dallas at DFW.
Yeah. But what did it look like on the inside? Did it look like Toys R Us that we know?
Oh, fuck no.
Exactly.
No. It was NECA, Super 7, stuff like that. Like
they put a Toys R Us in my mall, and it did not last. But we went in, and it was Toys R Us on the sign. It was Toys R Us in name only. You go inside, it was completely different. It was. I've said it before. It literally was a calendar go. with Toys R Us on the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it like the product they had was old. It was stuff that you could find at Ross, and it was priced like you're at a con. You know, so like an $8 Marvel Legend from Ross was on the shelf there for like $35. So
I still love mom and pop toy stores.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I wish we had more. There's like hardly none here in Seattle. It sucks.
Really? Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. House Hendo says the implied benefit of buying direct is that you can avoid the retailer markup. They don't understand a minute discount could move triple the units depending on the buyer. Minute discount. Thank you, House Hendo. Ickney Bob sends in $5. In a world of Action Force, how post-apocalyptic is the world on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being like ours currently, 10 being like Waterworld / Mad Max.
It's like a 3, maybe 2.5, 3.
It's not really post-apocalyptic. It's just the federal government has fallen.
Yeah, it's just it takes place in 2028. So, you know, maybe some things change a little bit, but other than that, it's not like, you know, it's not Mad Max, that's for sure.
Just Jim says a little late. What's Rob's thoughts on these toy Kickstarters that haven't fulfilled in over 1.5 to 2 years?
I think that anybody that gets in the toy business, from my perspective, there's a huge learning curve. There's a huge amount of who to trust and who not to trust. And I think that most people go in, even myself, greatly underestimating the challenges that you'll face in producing action figures.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone could do it and everybody could do it well. And so you might have a lot of people doing it, but you don't have a lot of people doing it well.
Now, I know you've addressed Wave 3 of Savage Crucible.
Mm-hmm.
But for those that aren't aware, do you want to fill them in on where you're at with that?
Sure. It's currently in production. We'll have some pictures going out here. I don't know, a week or two or whenever we get to that after Joe Fest. But that's just, and Bobby can attest to this, the bigger the wave, the longer it takes. Bottom line. Mm-hmm. And that's why we've quickly moved away from that sort of, 6 to 8 SKU wave model and going to more condensed 1 to 3 waves. I think some people have a hard time understanding what we're doing behind the scenes, and what we're doing behind the scenes is planning accordingly. And we had tooling that was already in place in wave 2 to have these drops, like new head sculpts, new little weapons, new little belt piece, things like that to kind of add variety. And so I think the two biggest things outside of just not having a deep understanding of toy business is understanding that it takes a great deal of planning and a great deal of capital to be able to keep dropping things. And that's where it takes really small companies that don't have any capital behind them a long time to get up that ramp, because they have to sell through their inventory before they can go do something else. And that's the real problem with it.
Okay.
Yeah, the capital thing is wild because it's like, and sometimes you can take it for granted once you have it. It's like I was doing well, had all this capital, then I was like, yeah, let me introduce 3 new lines. Cool. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, holy shit, you're getting, $20,000, $75,000 invoices from the factory, like on a bi-weekly basis. And you're like, wait, why? What's going on? I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, I have all these lines and in a vehicle. Like, oh, yeah, cool. Nice.
Let's see here. We got Ickney Bob sending him $5. Thank you. He says also happy birthday to Bobby.
Oh, thanks, man.
It was yesterday, right?
Getting younger every day.
I certainly don't feel it. 40s has been rough for me. I'm not a fan.
This one's for you, Bobby.
The Force has got a lot of power. It makes me feel like, woo!
All right, wait.
I don't have any strippers.
Was the original video him actually having gas, or is that something that was added to humiliate him?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I highly suggest following him on Instagram. He is.
All right. I mean, if it's self-deprecation humor, I'm okay with it.
He is
Otherwise,
awesome. You
Okay.
got to check him out on Instagram. His whole thing is singing covers,
Gotcha. Okay.
and he has a massive following. Yeah,
Please tell me he does a careless whisper.
I'm sure he does. He's awesome. I love that guy. We got autocorrect primer for $2. Valaverse is the reason I quit Hasbro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
And then look who we have here. I got to cue it up. Articulated Ninja Reviews. He says, just wanted to thank both Rob and Vala for making Toy Unity Expo 2026 memorable and great this year with exclusives for both Vala and Rob. Name one thing that impresses you about the other's figure line. Bobby, what impresses you about Savage Crucible?
The attention to detail is, there are times where I feel like I try to push the boundaries of details. Now, granted, I do a military line and we're a little constrained with things sometimes, but on a fantasy line, you have a much bigger canvas, but also there's tons of companies that do not fill that canvas. And I picked up that Elric figure and I was looking at a DFW, and I think I even walked back to the booth and I told Rob it was like his best figure he's ever done. The little things. It's the detail. Like, yeah, the figures are gorgeous, but it's that attention to detail, to accessories, things that attach to belts, and he's got an amazing crew of sculptors, and with Kevin and Matt, it's like they're phenomenal. Nikki's painting is in the top of the game there. So that is what has always impressed me, is how nothing is overlooked. It's like, we have this book. All right, we'll make this book have as much detail as possible in pages and bindings and latches on books, and little satchels that attach to belts. Like, that's the stuff that I love. So it's that stuff that impresses me, amongst other things. But yeah, that's it.
I would say the two things about Bobby and Valaverse. The first one, I don't think me and Bobby ever talked about, but it takes a really strong person to fail and keep going. And I don't think that you got enough credit for your first Kickstarter not funding and you coming back and like, I'm going to do this no fucking matter what. And that is great. That really, truly is. And says a lot about you. The one thing I really liked was the action points and bringing back that nostalgia for the flag points. I love that. Like, I thought that was just amazing. And so I kind of thought it was BS. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was BS in the beginning. Like, there's never going to be like anything to ever actually use these with. And then when you actually did it, I was like, that's fucking awesome.
I never had a plan. Like, I was like, I'm going to do it. But, I said to myself, eventually I'm going to have to address this, and a couple of years had gone by and was like, so what are we doing with these action points? And I was like, I'd always wanted to do it. It's just like, I was afraid of the logistical nightmare. And I can tell you right now, it is a absolute logistical nightmare.
You might have had a little regret at one point. Because the logistical nightmare that's an understatement.
Because what happened was, well, you know what? It balanced out better once we started offering the mail away figures for a retail price and then a lower price with the points. When we just did Condor and it was just points, holy shit. Going to the PO box every day, and it got to the point where I had a pretty solid size PO box, but then they would, the mail bins, the kind of the translucent mail bins.
Yeah.
They'd be like, here, come around. There's 2 more of these besides what's in your PO box. And that was every day for a good solid 2 months. Wow. And I was like, this was nuts. And then ripping them open, counting all the points and stuff. Yeah, that was nuts. But it's also fun, it's cool because when I hear you say that, you like it, it's like, yeah, it's fun. No one else is doing it. But then thank you for what you said, Rob. But Yeah, I mean, the other thing about the failed Kickstarter is it wasn't just the failing part, is how quick I came back from it. That one failed in June, and I came back in October. I was like, fuck this. I know what I got to fix on it. Watch
Yep.
it. But yeah, you have to learn from every failure. Every failure is a lesson. And I also was like, I'm also very competitive. I'm like, yeah, I'm not taking that L. I was like, you got to beat me a couple more times before you get that L. But I was also in a position where I had left my job at Jazzwares, for multiple reasons. I didn't like it there. My wife was 8 months pregnant. Like I just, I wasn't moving to Florida. So I was just like, shoot, what am I going to do? I was like, I kind of have to keep going with this. And I also believed in it. I believed in the project, and just had to tweak a few things. That's all.
Yeah. All right. I did want to say with the mail-in, like you took
You
some
just get
heat
the
for
feeling
that.
that Ryan was totally not impressed with the conversation we just had. It feels like, okay, they finally shut up.
Yeah, right. It's just like,
yeah, that was, yeah.
But
my attention is pulled in like 4 different directions. I got the private chat, I got the chat, I got you guys.
He'll clip it and he'll make a short and try to like capitalize on us some more. That's fine.
Yes, I will. I will make mini shorts from this show. You're right, and I definitely will. But don't worry about it. Shorts don't make any money. So, but you took some heat on the action points thing.
Well, yeah, the first one, because people didn't want to cut up their boxes. And I mentioned that I'm going to do a cheap plug for my YouTube channel, where I did a video a couple of weeks ago talking about the mistakes I've made in my line. And one of them was at the time we were doing the boxed figures and people didn't want to cut up their boxes. Now, I am a firm believer that you got to let them breathe, especially a modern figure. No modern figure should be kept in the package, but there are some people that still subscribe to that. And that people are just like, I don't want to cut up my boxes. Can I make copies? Can I do whatever? Like, I wish there was a way I could just buy it without the points. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll tweak that for the next one. And that's where we just made it super cheap to send it in points, and then made it a higher retail price if you don't want to cut up your boxes. So
yeah, it was a compromise.
And that seems to make everyone happy.
It seemed, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got to get back to the chat because we got a lot of stuff to get through here. Todd Loves Toys member for 33 months. You two are top of the action figure market. Thank you, Todd.
Sure hope so.
We got Super Hallelujah for $10. Thank you. My new Kickstarter will be all of Jersey Maniac's favorite Hasbro figures repainted in pink. You're welcome. Thank you, Super Hallelujah. Northern Nomad for $5. Thank you so much, Nomad. He says, if Elric and Vane are worthwhile, better raise some serious
emotional damage.
Thank you, Nomad. RC Archaeologist sends in $5. Thank you. He says, late to the party. Happy Saturday, hooligans. Oh, yeah, and Hasbro's run by greedy jerks.
I love that people are giving Vane so much praise. I thought Blackbeard is still the best seller of the line. But I've noticed that, when I look at orders, it's like every time Blackbeard's ordered, Vane is ordered. And I'm like, wow, like people are really digging, that figure. So thanks, Zach McGowan, for letting me use your likeness.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's see. We got Keys Collects member for 19 months. Thoughts on future DC vehicles? Mattel seems poised to set an example. They got their work cut out for him because McFarlane has gone heavy into vehicles for DC. Like I think he's done every Batmobile, at least live action.
DC. That's the thing. Like once it's gonna be interesting to see what Mattel does, because McFarlane did so much. It's like, how do you do more? Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. Isn't McFarlane coming out with a Bat missile?
Yes, if he hasn't already. Yeah.
Wow.
He's doing everything, man.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then we got K-Dog here gifting 1 3POA podcast membership. Thank you, K-Dog. And then another 3POA podcast membership. That's 2 3POA podcast memberships. Thank you so much, K-Dog. Let's see. I got something for you right here.
Oh, no! They're coming in through the back door! Oh no! Grab the children! Save the children!
Bobby's favorite movie.
What is it? I think at one point he says something like the Human Torch applied for a bank loan. Or something.
The Human Torch was denied a bank
Well,
loan.
denied a bank loan.
Yeah.
That's right.
John Garrett sends in $10. Thank you, John. Thank you, Bobby and Rob, for your expert knowledge tonight about the business of action figures. I have a quick question for Bobby about the Bloody Jester for sale now on Amazon. Who's Red Pelican?
That is our dedicated Amazon partner. So,
Oh, okay.
yep. Yeah, we don't work directly with Amazon. Like I don't go to Amazon, I give them the product. I work with someone who is who I've known for a long time in the toy industry, and he has been, an Amazon seller, and he got us into Amazon, and it's been working really well. So I gave him an exclusive.
Autocorrect Primer says, my wife, thank you for the $2, by the way. My wife wanted to say she loves Savage Crucible.
Oh, thank you.
Who doesn't?
I've seen a lot more like female collectors in the past year or so. It seems like they're coming out of the woodwork.
I think that also our team is kind of overrepresented on females a little bit in terms of staffing. So, we have female sculptors, we have female painters, our CFO's female, the ladies that do the pack orders and do logistics are female. So like, I don't know if it's 50%, but we actually do have a lot of females working for the company. So
cool. Let's see. We got Codename Hunter for $5. Thank you. The Chuck E. Cheese would fit in with any horror line like NECA. The fucker is creepy. That old school, like the new Chuck E. Cheese is creepy too, though, in a different way. But that old one, dude, that's definitely creepy. Let's see. We got Robert Diaz, member for 34 months. I met the Savage Crucible Street Team at a show in Bridgeville, Illinois. Great people. Bobby, will we get a variant of Mike Honcho with a stack of reference mags?
If I had more time when I put that figure together, I would have had him come with a few more accessories. But maybe we could do an accessory pack where we have that. We'll see. But then I don't know what you're talking about with that Honcho figure. It's news to
Weapons
me.
Pack D.
Oh, I have to go buy some new reference. Oh, shucks. Let me head down to 7-Eleven. But then it was like, there was the whole, like, you have to go down there when, like, no one's there. If, like, other customers, I'd wait till, like, other customers were, like, checked out. And then I'd be like, can I get that one? Because you have to ask them for the ones behind the counter.
Shane for $2. Thank you. He says, I really want a Vespa tank in the World War II line.
A Vespa tank?
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
I could hear Rob typing like he's looking it up. So I feel like I need to look it up now too.
House Endo sends in $5. Rob, I once again encourage you to read Glenn Cook's The Black Company. He's the U.S. Moorcock and grandfather of Grimdark. I'll bring you a copy at Titan Toy Expo.
okay, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Hendo. Hendo, the guy that bought 7 Elrics. He pre-ordered 7 Elrics. Very smart, Hendo.
Oh, man.
At first, I thought he was crazy. And then I saw what happened. I'm like, Hendo, very smart. Let's see here. We got K-Dog Broadcasting for $5. I am probably the only kid who loved every aspect of Chuck E. Cheese, the giant rooms, and especially the animations. It was fascinating, not creepy. I thought it was... I mean, as a kid,
It was
I
called
loved it.
Showbiz when I was a kid here in the
Mhm.
South. So I don't know that it ever gets talked about, but yeah.
I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's is based on the whole Chuck E. Cheese showbiz thing, and that's where the creep factor comes from. Let's see here. We got East Coast Cody for $2. Did Bobby work on FSS Iceberg or Skullbuster?
Not those two. No, I did not.
Thank you, East Coast Cody. And then he sends in 5. He says, Rob, can you loan out Renato to Bobby? He's done a fantastic job on the lower section of the website.
Well, he did kind of loan Renato to us because when we were at DFW, I wanted Jordan to actually see the panel live for the first time. So Renato graciously stayed at our booth and manned the Valaverse booth while Jordan could do the panel.
Which, if you see any prototypes coming out of Virginia, that's not Renato. He did not take those from the booth while you guys were in there. Just clarify.
That's not his eBay account. It's
no.
No.
So The different his is Renato B1. The one selling them is Renato B2. So
Okay.
Got it.
yeah.
Got it. Makes
Totally
sense.
different. Yeah. Cyber Samurai for $5. The problem with most toy lines are there's no good story media promoting these lines. There's no good story media promoting these lines. Okay. Most of them have like comic books. At least, right? Some of them.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean, comics is also a dying medium as it is. So
Oh, don't say that. I just bought a whole bunch yesterday. East Coast Cody sends in $2. Thank you. Received my Malice today. Figures a home run.
thanks, man. Glad
Thank
you
East
dig
Coast
them.
Cody. Electric Blue Station for $2. Recently tuned in. LP, I was surrounded by furries. Yes, I was at a con. And it wasn't a furry con. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe I went to the wrong one. Let's see here. Super Hallelujah for $10. Can Super 7 give me all their Power Rangers? No one is buying them, and my Lightning collection could use their accessories. Keep asking. I'm not sure, but thanks for the $10. East Coast Cody for $5. Thank you. Will you consider making factory versions of any of the 3D printed SAFC items? I've got the Oni mask, and it's so good.
So SFAFC is run by Tim Peake. And I think Nick Whitmore is doing a lot of those sculpts. For the most part, those are all new original sculpts. We might consider. Sometimes they show us stuff and I ask them not to do it just because we have something in the works or whatnot, but they're putting out some pretty awesome pieces, that's for sure. Adding a lot of character to existing figures.
All right. I saw one they posted today with the Brynjar Veil head sculpt. It looked really cool.
Yeah. Well, the Oni mask actually came out of ZoloCon.
Okay.
Nick was there and we were just talking about like mistakes, things we wish we could have done better. And then I was like, oh, an Oni mask would have been awesome. And then, or Oni, sorry. And yeah, so they went and did it. So
cool. East Coast Cody sends in another $5. Thank you. He says, speaking of Jazzwares, will we ever get a video on what happened with those UFC figures? I remember something about them being smaller than expected.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to do a video. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, when I did the UFC line for Jazzwares, I had planned them to be Mattel WWF size. And I don't know, like, I have all my kickoff documents. They're all at that scale. And then I left before they went to tooling, or maybe just before. Yeah, because I wouldn't have seen a check model or anything like that. I got the sculpts done, and then I left. And then whoever took over at the time, I'm not saying now, it might be different now. At the time, Jazzwares did not have very capable people that understood collector, also just understood toys in general. And like details were just missed. And a lot of Jazzwares projects were incredibly rushed. Like I'm talking kickoff to shipping from the factory in 7 months. It was like unbelievable, the dark magic they had going on there. So it makes sense that it was missed, but you know, the fact that it's on all my kickoff documents and the sculpts should have been sized correctly. All I can think of is normally when you do a check model, it's usually at 104%, and then there's 4% shrinkage. I think maybe there was a 4% decrease because that almost seems like what it is. They're really little. So that's the only thing that I can think of that happened. But they're also like, I haven't looked at one in a while. They're almost like import little. Like they're not
They are the size of SH Figuarts.
Yeah, they're not even like the scale of Marvel Legends. Like they're smaller than that. So
yes.
How the figure shrunk by at least an inch is beyond me. If I was there, that would have never happened. But it did. And
SH Figuarts had a wrestling line at that time, and I figured they were trying to match that.
okay.
I mean, besides the size, those figures were pretty good.
And that's the thing I had done. So on my kickoff documents for that line, it has drop down hips, same drop down hips that I ended up using on Action Force. And, you know, so there were things that I was doing on that UFC line that I was like, well, I'm going to take and do on my line. But, you know, it was, I looked at what the old Jax line did from the very early 2000s. And I'm like, well, we're going to make this totally different. You know, the soft good shorts was cool, came with the flags. Like, the only thing looking back, and I'm like, man, if I were there, like, we would have done inkjet printing on the faces, the sizes. Like, who knows what that line could have been had that line been what it should have been.
Well, in wave 2 or 3 or whatever it was, they made them bigger. And then
that wasn't even that was, so my line was only one wave.
Yeah.
And then they course corrected and they made them bigger, but they basically started with, you know, there was also Conor McGregor. I mean, you're obviously gonna have Conor McGregor in, but I know that the people that like affected that line after I left, because when I got there, like, nobody knew anything about UFC. And the one brand marketing guy who semi knew UFC, he knew UFC like mid 2000s UFC. So he was like, oh, we should put Uriah Faber in the line. And I'm like, no, he hasn't had a relevant fight in 3 years. I was like, he just got inducted into the Hall of Fame because that's what retired fighters do. I'm like, we're not putting him in the line. And then it was just like, I was like, you got to put relevant fighters now because you need today's fans. And when I saw that they redid the line and made them bigger, Uriah Faber was in the line. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I mean, the second line came out. They didn't have the soft goods shorts. They had less articulation in them than I had in mine. Like, I think they didn't have butterfly joints and they were missing like a thigh cut. So it was like such a watered down version of what it was. And I'm like, wow. So you messed up my line and then you messed up the second shot at it. Like, damn. Okay. So
let's see here. We got to move on. We got a lot to get to. We got Honey Badger, member for 30 months. Rob, did you know Elric was going to sell this well?
No. I thought he would sell well when I went to go license the IP. I mean, Michael Moorcock I think he sold like 90 million novels at this point. So I might be exaggerating or underestimating the number at this point. I don't really remember. But I thought the figure would do well. The pre-order did really well. It was the most produced figure to date at that point. So it certainly exceeded our expectations on our own IP. But no, we did not think that it would do this well. It was definitely I think Bobby had the same thing happen with his first series. People just kept coming back and ordering more and more and more. And so by the time we got to the end, this production's already done. And, you know, people are still trying to put in orders from retailers. And so, yeah, it definitely exceeded our expectations. We're very happy with the response. The licensee is very happy with the response. And from that perspective, we just appreciate everyone's enthusiasm for the character.
Very cool. Thank you, Honey Badger. Andrew Sabina sends in $5. Thank you, Andrew Sabina. He says, I got a couple Motu Chronicles movie figures. If Mattel does that with the DC license, I'm getting kicked out of the house. Yeah. I was pretty happy with the Chronicle figures too. They're definitely a step in the right direction for Mattel. A big improvement over what they had done with the DC line before they lost it. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, Andrew. One-Eyed Willie member for 4 months. Thank you. Happy early Father's Day. Thank you. Question for Bobby. Any chances on getting battle damaged heads in the extras line?
that's interesting. I did see, and you know, we did battle damaged heads in one of our head packs, but then I saw that Jada just showed that battle damaged Street Fighter head pack, and I'm like, that's smart. Yeah, I mean, listen, extras, like, again, it's like a blank canvas. Like, the line's just starting, you know, I wasn't sure how it would do, but the reception to it this early has been unbelievable. So I can see us doing all sorts of wild stuff with extras. So yeah, battle damage, easy battle damage.
There's so much you can do in that line.
Yeah,
It's gonna be cool.
Speaking of which, Bobby, that idea of ours is not dead yet.
Okay.
Oh,
Taking forever, but it's not dead.
Okay. Guys, me and Rob might work on something together.
cool.
Yeah.
Little collab. Nice.
No problem.
K-Dog sends in $2. Thank you. Animatronics autocorrect can ingest a you-know-what.
What?
Oh, he was correcting something he said earlier. Thank you, K-Dog. Let's see here. We got Grizzly Nightmare for $2. Thank you. We had Billy Bob's Wonderland here in West Virginia.
Oh, I've never even heard of it. Yeah.
Never heard of that. And I never heard of Showbiz until I was an adult because it was all Chuck E. Cheese here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showbiz got bought up by Chuck E. Cheese, and then so like you went, it got rebranded. So that's how I knew what it was. But
Showbiz sounds like a place where the kids' dads would go.
Showbiz, I think the main character was like a bear with a banjo.
Like Five Nights at Freddy's. Articulated Time sends in $20. Thank you, Articulated Times. He says Articulated Empire just put in a vendor application for Toy Unity. Excited to support this show. Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. You hear that, Ninja? Process that application. Let's see here. We got Hector. We got Hector. Thanks for the $5. He says, hey, Bobby, any timeline on those new weapons? They are awesome. When will they drop?
The first 2 packs, so Oscar and Papa are coming late August, early September with the Steel Brigade series of figures and the Arctic Trooper. And then the other 3, I don't know the timing off the top of my head.
Okay, last one, and then we have a special surprise from Rob here. We got Gozer1 became a channel member. Thank you, Gozer1. Please stay tuned for the after show. There's a after show for channel members only about, let's say, 20 minutes after this main show ends. And the link is already up on YouTube. So check that out if you're a channel member. And if you're not, click join down below. Join the channel. Thank you so much, Gozer1. Okay, Rob, you sent this to me. I don't know what this is. Well, I know it. Well, I think I know what it is.
I mean, honestly, I haven't even watched it. So
you haven't even watched it. Okay,
yeah.
So is this like an exclusive premiere for a 3POA? Here we go.
We're about to find out. I don't know.
Okay, here it is. Nice. Little tease there. Am I saying it right? Dravarthi?
Yeah.
Dravarthi Sentinel. And that's not a Joe Fest exclusive. It is a drop. It's a first release at Joe Fest.
Correct.
So, yeah. Very cool. Thanks for sharing that, man. And thanks for coming on tonight.
No, thanks for having me. I always love talking to you guys.
Yeah, it was fun. Bobby, you dropped a new video today on your channel.
I did.
Talking about repaints. Everyone should go check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Toy Unity, Titans Toy Expo. Go to toyunityexpo.com and titantoyexpo.com. And if you're going, buy your tickets in advance. Is Titan Toys tickets available yet?
Yes, Titans Toys Expo tickets for the exclusives are up, as well as Toy Unity. They are limited. Yes, we realize that we haven't shown everything, but you're going to regret not getting them.
Yes. Yeah. So when you buy your tickets on toyunityexpo.com, you can select the figures as well. So, by the VIP pass, you select one Savage Crucible, one Valaverse figure. And Bobby, you actually revealed yours, right? For Toy Unity, which is the
Ocular Serpent.
No, that's Titans. That's
Titans.
Oh,
Toy Unity. Toy Unity is Ninja, Honcho, and then the first time drop for Pulse.
But yes, okay, there we go. So Toy Unity, Titan Toy Expo, check them out. Buy your tickets now. Rob has warned you. I don't want to hear complaining later that you didn't get them. Right, Rob?
It's okay.
Okay, they can complain anyway.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to complain too.
They're going to, right? Someone's going to, right?
I'm going to send you a very strongly worded email, Rob.
We are apt at handling those. Maybe not well, but we've had our experience.
All right. Again, thank you guys. Channel members, stay tuned for the after show. And Bobby.
No, Rob's the guest. Let Rob sign us out.
Oh, you chicken. All right, Rob, sign us out.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. Had a great time. Looking forward to you guys. Come to the after show. There's some great stuff we're going to talk about.
And look at that. That would have been cool, but we got another super chat. Nostalgia Knot, thanks for the 5. Got my order Thursday. Amazing, Bobby. With the positive reaction to the black Zolocon exclusive figure, do you plan on dipping into more weirdness?
I think we might have to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone wants that. So with that, I'll just say good night, everybody.
Yeah! This is for the collectors! The hunters! The ones buried in plastic addiction! 3POA! We stand united! Late night hunts in the cold fluorescent glow. Empty bags, but we never let it go. Self wars raging in the aisles again. Scalpers lurking like wolves among men. Hands on the card, eyes on the prize. Grail after grail under bloodshot eyes. From the toy booth to the live stream lights, we built this kingdom through endless fights. LaserPants brings chaos when the cameras roll. Bobby speaks true straight into your soul. No fake flex, no cloud chasing lies. Only real collectors survive. We won't back down. We won't be silenced. Built from passion, built from violence.